Very good noon to all of you. I hope I'm clearly visible and audible. I welcome to the part 2 of this ongoing series on vocabulary. Hi Sonali. Hello Virendra. Hi Indrajit. Okay, so Indrajit is asking if we can do a session on tenses. Indrajit, you'll find some sessions on tenses already on our channel, right? So just go through them once. I'm so sorry. You'll have to search for these sessions. Okay. So on our channel, you'll definitely find them, right? Search for grammar sessions, and there, I remember there was one called like tenses not tense you, and then there have been others also that I've conducted under different heads, right? So just go through them once, and I think they should help you, right? Hi Virendra, good noon. So ready for some vocabulary? All right, then we'll of course learn some new words today, and the focus will also be on covering various question types that are asked in your exams, because ultimately you have to solve questions in the exam, isn't it? So, these are the types of questions that we are going to cover today. Some of these we covered in our last class also. Yes, some of these are new. For instance, I don't think we covered odd one out. Last time we didn't cover spelling. Idiom is new for you. So there are some new topics as well. Then contextual vocabulary apart from fill in the blanks. That is what we are going to see today. Okay, so these are the question types that we are going to cover today. All right, so this is the first question, a very easy one. Let's start on an easy note. Tell me what the answer for this should be. All right. So easy question. Ubiquitous is a word that all of you must have heard. Right. FIBs are fill in the blanks. What do you say? Very easy. Another word means synonym. Sonali says B. Others, do we agree? Absolutely correct. So ubiquitous is something that is omnipresent, that is very commonly found actually. That is pervasive. So a related word is omnipresent. Okay, and something that is common or commonly found is called ubiquitous. So B is the answer. Now scarce would be the opposite of it. Okay, it would be the antonym. So we reject it right away. What about these words? What do they mean? Malleable. Yes, malleable, ductile. Do you remember these terms? Yes. So ductile, malleable, I remember these from the class when I studied metals in school, right? The properties of metals versus non-metals. So we were told that metals are malleable and ductile. Malleable means that they can be beaten into sheets. Can be beaten into sheets. Able means can be. Okay. And ductile. Duct is a tube, right? A duct is a tube. So can be beaten into wires. A wire has this structure, right? So beaten into or shaped into wires. So that is the meaning of malleable and ductile, the literal meaning. However, it is also used in a metaphorical sense. So somebody who's very flexible, somebody who's very compliant can also be called malleable, right? Because that person will obey whatever you say, right? That person will listen to you very easily. So that's why somebody who is very pliable is also called malleable, right? Insipid, absolutely correct, Sonali. It means lack of flavor, something that is very flavorless, something that's very dull, boring is called insipid, right? So you're right. The literal meaning is a lack of flavor, something that is bland. Okay, it is also used in the sense of boring and dull. All right, so these were some words for you. I'm sure that you have learned at least two new words from this question, right? If not, at least one word I'm hoping you've learned from this question. Now, this was a relatively easy question. Let's see this one. What do you say? The opposite of intransigent. Metaphor, Jatin. Metaphor means, okay. So, for instance, if I say that, um, you know, she was the Mirabai Chanu of the competition. Okay, so I am not saying that she was literally Mirabai Chanu. I'm not saying that. Yes, I'm just saying that she was as strong as, she exhibited as good a weightlifting ability as Mirabai Chanu. So, this comparison, which is not literal, okay, you are not saying that, oh, she is Mirabai Chanu. This comparison that is direct, it's a direct comparison. I'm not saying she was as strong as, I'm not using a simile there. So it's a direct comparison, but it is not literal. This is called a metaphor. So when I say that he has a malleable personality, that does not mean that you can beat him into sheets, right? It simply means that he will be very easily influenced by you. Okay. All right. So Sonali has answered. What about others? Yes. Pratyusha, Ravi, Virendra. Okay. Absolutely correct. D is the answer. Intransigent. Someone who's very stubborn. This person will refuse to agree with you, refuse to change his or her views even when you persuade him or her to. Right? So, such a person is called intransigent. Okay? So, the opposite of it is, of course, someone who will listen to you, who will, be patient and will probably be also inclined to agree with you, right? Who's friendly. So, we are looking for such a word, and you're absolutely right. Amenable is the word. Lenient. See, intransigent does not mean strict. So, lenient cannot be the answer. And I think A and B were easy to eliminate. Indulgent. When is it that you're indulgent? For instance, grandparents are often indulgent towards their grandchildren. Yes. So, what do we mean by indulgent? When you're very generous, you show this excessive readiness to be generous with someone, that's when you're indulgent towards them. Right? So, indulgent is also eliminated because it is not about, trying to be generous, trying to be lenient. It's about the fact that, you are you stubborn? Are you refusing to agree? Or are you trying to cooperate? Right? So, amenable is something that, you are trying to cooperate. And that's why that is our answer and not indulgent. So indulgent was a close option here. Okay, I changed my words because I know the context. That's why I eliminated A easily, right? So I associated it with grandparents and how they're indulgent, right? So I eliminated it. But uh, if let's say someone is just going by the meaning of the word, it means that he has an over readiness to agree with someone. So it could be the answer that way. Contextually, it is not the answer. We know that its usage is not as the antonym of intransigent. The antonym will be amenable. When you show this responsiveness to be persuaded, that is when you are amenable. Right? यहाँ पे you are showing this response, you are refusing to be persuaded. Here you are showing a readiness, a responsiveness to be persuaded. Here you are just entertaining the other person. You just want to agree with everything the other person says because you love them. It arises out of love and affection. Okay? So I hope this detailed explanation has helped you. And D is the answer. A and D were close options if I just go by the meaning and not by the usage. Okay. Placate. What does it mean to placate someone? Yes. What does it mean to placate someone? When you try to calm them, when you try to soothe them, that is when you're trying to placate them. Okay, it comes from the root plaque and pack. These are two roots, okay, that mean to calm someone down. Okay, in fact, they mean simply calm. So that's why the Pacific Ocean is called Pacific Ocean because it's very calm. Someone who is a pacifist believes in peace. Someone who is implacable, you can't calm this person down. They are implacable. They can't be calmed down. Right? So these words come from pack and plaque. Are we there? Yes? Are you listening to me, or I'm just telling these roots to myself? Okay, look at this one. Okay, perfect. So what do you say for this one? Easy question. Please eliminate. Pratyusha says D. Others. Sonali says D. Okay. Vinayak says C. So something is showing results, promising results, right? They have made significant progress. In what? So you say D Delhi and some of you say C. In the identification of cancer, were we not able to identify cancer earlier? Also, something showing promising results. Diagnosis is simply examination of a patient. Examination of a patient. Diagnosis is the plural of diagnosis. ठीक है? This simply means examination. So, examination showing promising results in early trials. So, something is undergoing trials here, right? So, C is eliminated. It cannot be the answer. Then, with new symptoms, again eliminated. It has to be between B and D. Okay, now because there's vaccines, it's it's very tempting to write trials. Sorry, because of trials, it's very tempting to write vaccines here. But can B also be the answer? Yes. Hmm. Scientists have made significant progress in the dash of cancer, with new dash showing promising results in early trials. See, uh, they've made progress in this field. We are not trying to eradicate cancer so far. So far, the effort has been to find a cure for it or to make it less severe for a patient. Right. So this is better. Even though I understand trials makes vaccine a very tempting option. However, if you look at this, progress in what? What is it that we are trying to do? We are trying to find a cure. We are trying to make it less painful for the patient, less severe for the patient, right? So with new therapies, showing promising results in early trials. B is a better answer. Okay, because the effort so far has not been to eradicate it completely. The effort has been to find a cure. The effort has been to make it less painful for a patient. That's why it is going to be B Bangalore and not D Delhi. Does it make sense? If not, we can argue. Okay. Let's have a look at these five options because some of your exams have five options. Let's see what you say. Okay. Party members, chief, he never makes cogent arguments. Yes, correct, Sri, correct. Hanji, what do you say? Come on. You need to know the meanings of these words. I think a very important uh, way to eliminate here is to know what do these two words mean. Yes. So who is a pedagogue versus who is a demagogue? So they both come from the same root, don't they? So this agojos is the common root here. Agojos is the root. Okay. What does agojos mean? Yes. Anybody who's done WordPad made easy, or anybody who's started it, anybody who's doing it, tell me. So agojos means to lead. To lead. Okay. So ped means children. So pediatrician is the doctor of children. So pedagogue, someone who leads children, ideally it should mean a teacher. But pedagogue is used for a very authoritative teacher. It's a negative word. Okay, when you call someone a pedagogue, when I say that, okay, this person is a pedagogue, it's not a compliment. Okay, it's not a compliment because you are saying that this person just wants everybody to accept, to the students to accept what he or she says. So a very strict teacher, a very authoritative teacher is a pedagogue. Okay, demagogue. See, demos, democracy. Demos means people, someone who leads people. So again, it should be a positive word, but it's not. It's a negative word. Someone who leads people, a politician, okay, a leader who just manipulates the followers' emotions and thereby leads them. Okay, thereby ask them to elect him or her. So such politicians are called demagogues. So we are talking about a party here, we're talking about the chief of a party, we are most likely talking about a demagogue, not a pedagogue. So three options eliminated right away. Now, tell me, between B and D, which one should it be? Yes, venerating to him, I venerate to him or I venerate him. Tell me, I venerate to him or I venerate him, which is correct? So now it becomes a question of grammar. I venerate him. The to is not put after venerate, venerating. Eliminated. B is the answer here. Genuflect again means when you just bend and bow before someone, when you're excessively servile, when you're excessively obsequious, chamchagiri kar rahe ho aap, right? You're being sycophantic towards someone. So that is the meaning of genuflecting and groveling. Venerate is to respect. In fact, venerate does not have that negative image that groveling and genuflecting have. That fawning also has. Right? So these are synonyms: genuflecting, groveling, fawning. And B is the answer here. Make sense? Yes, Sri, absolutely. When I say pedagogy, pedagogy simply means teaching methodology. And you are absolutely correct that this does not have that negative connotation. Okay, it's very neutral. So we are always concerned with the pedagogy of the institute that we study in, right? What is their teaching methodology? What is their curriculum? What is the class, delivery like? How is it divided? So all of that comes under pedagogy. Yes. So, because this had pedagogue, na? That's why E is not the answer, Sonali. Because pedagogue doesn't fit here. That's why I eliminated E. Okay. Also, fawning to, is that correct? Yes. Tell me. Fawning to someone, is that correct English? Hmm. Or should it be fawning over someone? It is fawning over someone. Okay, so that is why I always tell you that whenever you learn a word, also see it being used in a sentence. How do I know that genuflect, to follows genuflect? Because I saw genuflect being used in a sentence. How do I know that over comes after fawning? Because again, I didn't just see the meaning of the word when I learned it, I also saw its usage. So it's very important to see how a word is used. Okay, all right, the fifth one. Okay, so I think esoteric is something that all of you know the meaning of, don't you? Grovel also means to genuflect, to bend and bow before someone. Okay. So, the chief's culinary creations were so esoteric that even the most adventurous diners struggled to comprehend their ingredients. So, were they traditional, were they basic, were they complex, or exotic? Absolutely correct, they were complex. Esoteric, the word means understood by few. Something that is not understood by everybody, it is understood by few. So, when you read some of your genres for RC passages, let's say you picked up a philosophy article, there may be days when you don't understand quite a few terms. On those days, the article that you picked up is perhaps esoteric, right? Understood by few, complex. All right. Remember, you need to find the antonym. So in the previous question, you needed to find the meaning, okay? But here you need to find the antonym. So what do you say? So what kind of attitude was it? Was it really energetic that the supervisor became happy? Was it very diligent? So lackadaisical means when you are very laid back, when you're very lazy. But I am looking for the antonym here. I am not looking for a synonym here. So torpid, which again means lazy, is eliminated. Actually, torpid means inactive. So something that shows a lack of activity is torpid. That is eliminated. Okay. Laid back does not mean, lackadaisical does not mean that you're late. It does not mean that you're late. So punctual cannot be the answer. So is it diligent? Is it energetic? A or D? Okay. Sorry, A or C? I'm sorry. A or C? Lackadaisical is lazy. Okay. So what would be the antonym of it? The antonym would be energetic. It would not be diligent. Okay. So the antonym here would be energetic, not A. बी कैसे बच्चे lackadaisical does not mean that he or she is coming late to office. No. ठीक है, so energetic. C. All right. Okay, what do you say? An idiom question. So we have a match the following question here. Yes, just make use of the options and tell me what the answer should be. Okay, so I've got two A's. I should have numbered this. I'm sorry. Hmm. Now, to sow your wild oats. Okay, let's say you do not know the meaning of this. Let's see some other common ones. See, this is very common to have a skeleton in the closet. When someone has a secret that they don't want to tell others, that's when they have a skeleton in their closet. Okay, so to have a shameful or embarrassing secret from the past. Two is C. That means either A or C is the answer. I don't even need to check one now. Okay, to sow your wild oats means to go wild, right? So is 3A? 3 is to chew the fat. Yes. When do you chew the fat? When you have a casual conversation. जब आप time waste कर रहे हो basically, right? You're just like a cow, right? Have you seen a cow chewing? It is so again laid back in doing it, right? It can do it the whole day. So chewing the fat here in our context means when you are having a casual conversation, an aimless conversation without any topic in mind, that is when you're chewing the fat. So 3 is D, and that is why option A is our answer. B and D are same, are they? My bad, my bad. Okay, this is how it should have been. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. That A is the answer. All right. Any queries so far, please ask. Anything that you haven't understood? Yes. So I hope you've learned some new words so far. Okay. All right. So which of the following word pairs is analogous to loquacious and taciturn? So loquacious is to taciturn. This is the relationship that is given to us. We have to find a similar relationship, and analogy means a similar relationship. Okay. Sonali, that's because that's the meaning of the idiom. So Sonali is saying, why not one C? Because to sow your wild oats. Okay. So basically, it means in a way to spread your wild seeds. So when would you spread your wild seeds? When you would go out and do something wild, right? Indulge in these reckless activities. That is what it means to sow your wild oats. So it is not even remotely related to having some shameful secret from the past. Okay, you are sowing it, you're not reaping it. Remember. All right. So, loquacious and taciturn, see, all of these words that I've chosen, they are very high frequency words, and a lot of them, in fact, you would find in word power made easy, right? Loquacious, taciturn, gregarious, all of these are there. Talkative, whereas someone who's taciturn does not like to talk a lot, right? Is very terse, in fact, will give you very brief replies. So, we are looking for an antonym pair. Okay. What do you say? See, gregarious is to solitary. Gregarious is someone who likes to be around people. Okay, solitary is someone who likes to stay alone. So, in that sense, they are also antonyms, right? Someone who is social, someone who likes to stay alone. So, loner, I should say. Okay, not alone really. Loath is to eager. Loath means when you're reluctant to do something. Eager means you're very enthusiastic about it. Contentious is someone who wants to, who always looks for a controversy, right? So, in fact, contentious issue would mean a controversial issue. So, contentious means controversial, okay, or someone who likes to indulge in controversy, someone who likes to argue. So, let's say argumentative, and the opposite of this is agreeable. So now you must be wondering, ये तो सभी antonym pairs and what should be the answer? Whenever you encounter such a question where you feel, oh, all of these are antonym pairs, I am also looking for an antonym pair, then search for the one that is closest to the meanings of these words. Okay, talkative. Prolix means again someone who talks a lot. Concise again someone who's very precise to the point. So A is our answer. Make sense? A is the closest idea here. So all of these were antonym pairs, and that's what made this question a tricky question. So in such cases, what do we use? We go for the one that is very similar in terms of meaning also to what is given. So prolix is generally, used for writing. Let's say you wrote something and it was tediously lengthy. You just went on and on and on, right? So your writing, your speech, your book, your work was prolix. ठीक है? So far so good. Taciturn, yes, taciturn means that. Sonali, yes, we have to find an antonym pair. We don't have to find the antonym of loquacious here. This is an analogy question. See, read the question stem clearly. Which of the following word pairs is analogous, means which is similar to this relationship? This relationship is talkative is to, okay, let's say terse. This is the relationship. You have to find a similar relationship. Meaning, जो ऐसे दो words जो कि antonyms हो. ठीक है, अब ये सभी antonyms हैं. That's what I'm saying. All of these are antonyms. So which antonym pair will you choose then? You will choose the one that is closest in the meaning also. Okay, when all of these are antonym pairs, you'll go by the meaning also. So concise, again somebody very to the point, very precise. Prolix, something very lengthy, tediously lengthy. ठीक है? Hope this makes sense. Okay. So hope you'll remember these words: gregarious, prolix, something very lengthy, usually used for writing speeches; concise, to the point; taciturn, someone who does not like to talk a lot, right? Uh, Loquacious; loath, which means reluctant. Acha, do you know the difference between LOATH, loath, versus LOATHE, loath? If you're loath to do something, you are simply reluctant to do it, as I told you. But when you loathe something, here we don't say to something. When you loathe something, you are disgusted by it. You simply hate it. Okay, it disgusts you. You feel repelled by it, so you find it repulsive. Right? That is the meaning of loathe. Loathe is a verb. This loathe is a verb. This loath is an adjective. Okay. Hanji. Okay. Good, Princey. Correct. Absolutely correct. All right. So let's go to the next one. Yes, when you loathe, yes, you can loathe someone also. So if I say she loathes him now, that means she hates him now. All right. Spelling. Chalo. Easy question. Spelling. Find the correctly spelt word. There's only one, of course. So these questions are your time-saving questions. Vacuum is the correctly spelled word here. Tell me the spelling of accommodation, harassment and embarrassment. Yes. मेरे को correct spelling बताओ. What is the error here? There is this error here. There had to be a double M. Okay, one more M we needed. Harassment, yes. There is no double R, there is a double S. Harassment. Okay, this is interesting. Embarrassment. Anji, embarrassment में क्या? Is it that I should place a single R there? That is the error? No. In embarrassment, there is a double R as well as a double S. So you can learn the difference between embarrassment and harassment. See this. Here we have a double R, double S. Here we just have a double S. The R is single. Okay. All right. And yes, that's about this question. Easy words. I don't think I need to explain their meaning. Question 10. There's one word that has not been spelled correctly. What do you say? Which one is it which has not been spelled correctly? And some new words for you here. Unconscionable transaction. Have you heard this anywhere? So I remember studying it in business law. Unconscionable transaction. Yes, it's uh, something that's considered to be unreasonable. Okay, it also has a sense of morality attached to it. So something that's considered to be unethical is unconscionable. Now, the spelling here is incorrect. Unconscionable is spelled like this. ओके अनकॉन्शनेबल यहाँ पर ओ आएगा ई की जगह दैट्स द डिफरेंस ओके so I hope you'll remember this word for you unconscionable correct is the answer who is a conscientious person yes someone who's very diligent okay who's very ethical who has a very good work ethic in fact in workplaces we call such a person conscientious find out about this model ocean model it's a personality test also okay find out about this so the C there stands for conscientious basically conscientiousness okay so conscientious someone who's very diligent it's a positive word conscious unconscious subconscious I'm sure you know these words conscious someone who is currently all of his faculties are in their correct place can perceive surroundings okay that person is conscious unconscious someone who's fainted let's say has gone unconscious conscription yes this is a new one conscription so does it have something to do with army conscription hmm so whenever wars happen, earlier whenever wars happened, some people it was made mandatory for them. So for instance, all the healthy males of the family who were adults, it was made mandatory for them to join the army. This compulsory enrollment in the army, in the armed forces is called conscription, right? So in fact, a lot of Russians were also forced in the Russia-Ukraine war. They were forced to compulsorily join the Russian army. So this is happening even today. Conscription is the word for it, right? Yes, Russian conscription. Good, good, Princey, good. All right. So I'm happy that you are reading the newspapers. You are aware. In fact, this word came to my mind also when I read it. I thought to make a question on it, right? The word that means one who forsakes his religion, one who abandons his religion, now gives up his or her religion. Conspicuous is it's similar sounding definitely, but conspicuous is something that's easily noticeable, easily noticed is conspicuous. Okay, inconspicuous is the opposite. Just add an in to it, that's the opposite. So Nali says A for this. One who forsakes his religion is absolutely correct. He is not an atheist. This person is not an atheist. Atheist is someone who does not believe in God. Okay, a non-believer is atheist. Apostate is someone who earlier was religious but now has abandoned his or her religion. Right? So apostate. And it has a negative connotation attached to it. Does not have a positive connotation. Agnostic, someone who says that I don't know whether God exists or not. I don't know whether God exists or not. That person is agnostic. This GNO here means no. No. It's pronounced also as no. Okay, so I don't know whether God exists or not. Bigot. Who is a bigot? Hanji. कौन होते हैं bigots? Bigotry is the noun form of it. A bigot is someone who hates the other. because of his or her, let's say, the other, because of the other person's religion, ethnicity, it could be gender, caste. So because of any difference that he or she feels from him or her, right? So religion, ethnicity, caste, gender, okay, class, it could be anything. So that person is bigot. Bi means two. So here it means other. Okay, gut means hatred. So hatred of the other, right? I hope this is clear. Agnostic, yes, someone who questions the existence of God, right? When the premise of questioning God would be that you feel, I don't know whether God exists or not, so I need to question this, right? So the premise is this only. Yes, correct, Shri, correct, Princy, Kattar, orthodox. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, find the odd word out here. Hmm. Bemuse, bewilder, confuse. Yes. Staunch is also a synonym. Correct, correct, Virendra. Staunch is a synonym. But bigot is specifically concerned with the hatred of someone. A staunch person, an orthodox person, they are rigid about their rules, right? They may not hate the other person, but they are very rigid about their rules. So they are related words, but they're not exact substitutes. Remember that. Bigot की जगह हम staunch नहीं बोल सकते हैं. Exact substitutes नहीं है. Absolutely correct. So bemuse, bewilder, confuse, they are all the same in the sense they are synonyms. Okay. When you bewilder someone, you confuse someone, you bemuse them. They are bemused, they are bewildered, they are confused. Okay. Amuse, on the other hand, is when you say something that they find humorous. You amuse them. So, bees that. Okay. And yes, this is it from my side for today. I hope you've joined all our social media handles here and you've subscribed to the channel, and you can download the app to get more material, more sessions. I conduct sessions there as well. All right, then, this is it from my side for today. I'll see you next time. Bye bye. See you.